Hello guys, so this light might go off. I don't know, it might stay on, but I wanted to talk to you guys about the raw reality of hitting a 10K day. There we go. But hitting a 10K day in day trading for the first time. And yes, you guys heard it. I said 10K day in day trading for the first time. Today was my first 10K day ever, and I should actually pull it up for you guys. So, me in the trade, as you can see, if we can focus, that's a 7, and then 8K, and then I took partials there, and then I didn't hold it. I basically held it to the other partials. I just had to cut it like a little bit earlier than that. So here's the account info. There you go. You can see there 9.28.44 plus the funded accounts, right? So it's well over 10K. But anyways, I'm just telling you guys the raw reality of it. All right, instead of making a whole trade recap like I always do, this was, an accomplishment in my eyes, honestly. Because when people talk about 10K months, people talk about 10K in general, but people don't talk about 10K days a lot. That's like a little more far fetched for people. There's a verse that I read in Job. It's Job chapter 11, verse 7. And I remember it so vividly because it's so true. Basically, it's a question asking about, do you know God's limits? It's basically asking us if we know God's limits. And we don't, right? So that's it. We don't know God's limits. With that being said, it shouldn't be far-fetched for us to hit a 10K day. It shouldn't be far-fetched for us to hit a 50K day, a 100K day. These are all things that are very obtainable. But one thing that a lot of people don't understand is that it takes time to get to this point. All right, it takes payouts, right? Stacking up payouts, right? So you can't just go immediately for that 50K day, but you can start to build up, and eventually you can have a 50K day, you can have a 10K day, 20K day, 50K, 100K day, bro. $1 million in a day. It's very possible. I know you guys see these traders, TJR. So many people call this stuff fake because why they don't think it's obtainable. They're putting limits on themselves, and you're putting a limit on what God can do in your life. And that's something that we just can't do because we don't know God's limits. We don't know our limits ourselves because we are children of God. God does everything he does for a reason, and he does it within us. So it's like, we don't really know those limits. Another thing I would say is like discipline. Of course, having your model is one thing, but having discipline to only take that model and nothing but your model is a whole nother thing. When you go against your own rules that you have self-control by God to stick to, what does that say? What are you saying to God? What are you saying to God when it comes to him giving you self-control and you just choose to throw it out the window? I think that's blatant disrespect, honestly. I think it's disrespectful to go against your rules and to lack self-control within the charts. If you lack self-control, I consider that sin. And I think you should too. Because that's honestly what it is. Once you start thinking about it like that, once you start putting more value on you following your rules, and when your why becomes bigger than just passing a funded account or getting a payout, then you're going to see so much more, like so much more of what you can do, how much more disciplined you can be, and how much more you can achieve. That's one thing that really just shifts in your mind so quick. It's like a switch. And once that switch is turned on, you're going to start to see a lot more wins, a lot more differences in your trading. All right. And this is also like just why I wanted to talk to you guys instead of doing a trade recap. I'm always showing you guys, how I did it on the charts, but I'm not showing you guys how I did it in here, how I did it in here, how I did it with him. And that's really where it starts. The charts is one thing. That's just a little piece. I'd say that's probably 20% of what I'm doing. 80%, more closer to 90, is God and discipline and where your heart is leaning towards. If your heart is leaning towards greed, you're not going to get anywhere. You're going to end up over risking. You're going to blow your accounts. It's another thing. Stacking up your accounts. All it takes, it does, guys. All a funded account is a 2K live account. If you treat it as such, as a 2K live account, you guys are gonna realize very soon because I know so many of you guys are going to be profitable. So many of you guys are going to see payouts, see profits that you have never even ever imagined, that you can ever fathom. And it's all starts with your mind, your heart, spirit. And that's something that a lot of people don't ever come to realize. And it really just takes you reflecting on yourself, you praying to realize that. Guys, I really wanted to make this video because I know so many of you guys are going to make it. Honestly, like once you start to realize that it's just literally you and yourself between your success in trading, everything's going to shift. I'm giving you guys the model. I'm giving you guys that 20% that you need. You can go throughout my whole YouTube. You'll figure out my model A to Z. I live stream on freaking Kick, literally showing you guys A through Z how to do this. I live stream my trades for free so many times. Guys, this is out there, and I'm not the only one who has a profitable model. But it does not only take a profitable model. You have to risk appropriately. I'm risking, no more than $500 in a day, $250 in a day. Of course, that's multiplied in accordance to the account balance, but it's the same thing. Numbers change, but their actual trade doesn't, right? And I think that's why I think trading is the most fairest game out there. It's the most fairest way to make money. Of course, it's a little harder. The only reason it's a little harder is because you don't have to conquer yourself. That hardness is just not physical; it's internal. All right, and that's the only difference. It's hard, but it's just a different type of hard. All right, and I know you guys can do it. I know you guys can do it. The model, it's just learning, just like anything else. But everything else, it's in here. Yeah, model, check. Risk management plan, check. Discipline, that's the last thing you need. So I just wanted to like come on here and just talk for a little because I know you guys can do it. I know you guys have what it takes. You guys have found this video. You're watching this video. I'm saying these exact words to you for a reason. God placed me right in front of you to talk to you for a reason. I understand exactly where you're at, exactly where you're trying to be. I'm just like talking, it's still like the start of my journey. All right, 10K day, what does that mean? It doesn't mean anything to me. All right, of course it means something to me, of course, but that's one thing I noticed about this 10K day. The money didn't fulfill me, but what did fulfill me is like knowing that God has my back and that his love, his relationship is true, you know? And of course, there's like so many other things that you guys don't see on social media that does happen in my life. There's a little part in it, but other than that, guys, it's like things. So many things in your life can change so suddenly when you have that relationship with God. It's amazing, all right. And let me be a living testimony of that. That His love is true. You guys seen every single one of my videos on here from when I was at my house in Delaware. I'm in Florida. I would never, oh my goodness. I used to literally dream, like literally manifest myself just being in Florida. And now, like I'm here in my little dream state and doing what I want with my life by the grace of God. And you can too. I know you can. That's why I'm making this video. All right, so I know it's a little different. It's me just talking at the camera, but I hope this, was able to give you guys some good insight. Truly love you guys. Reach out to me if you're going through anything. Of course, outside of trading, during trading, I don't care. Talk to me. All right. Discord DMs are probably the best way to reach me, honestly. Or email. I rarely get emails, but hey, boys, you can do it. I know you can. If you want to work with me, like more one-on-one, check that out in the description. But anyways, guys, that's all I have to talk to you guys. Instead of a recap, I just want to give you this. Have the proof. I always post my stuff on Instagram. I live streamed this on Kick too, so it's like it's real. I mean, as real as it gets. But you guys stay safe. God bless you all, and MT is out.